Fox News Opinion Dynamics poll showing only 35% of voters favor this plan now on the table. 55% oppose it. Could this negative impression of the bill hurt Democrats in the fall elections? Joining us right now is Republican Congressman Bill Cassidy. He is a medical doctor. We also had a Democrat Congressman, Robert Andrews of New Jersey, booked to join us, and about literally 1 minute before this show started, we got word from his staff that he will not be joining us, and we don't know exactly why that is. So playing the role of Robert Andrews as our stage manager. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that. But producers didn't think that was a good idea. However, so we're going to try to have a debate here, although you're going to be debating yourself, I guess. I don't know. Well, first of all, we'll start off with the self-execution rule. The Democrats were criticized for even considering using this demon pass, as it's called as well. Now it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. The fact that it was being considered does not sit well with a lot of people. Do you think that was playing bad politics?
It's incredibly bad politics. But the fact is, this whole debate, they assume that good politics is bad public policy, that somehow the American people cannot comprehend the goodness that the president and the Democrats are about to bequeath upon us. It's actually been almost shocking the way they've disregarded public opinion.
Well,
now, here's one kind.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Here's one kind of nod to the fact that the public are upset about it. But your poll that only 35% of Americans believe in this plan, and by the way, if it actually lowered costs, I think they would believe in it, then that's kind of an example of the fact how they're ignoring the will of the American people.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because there is another poll, and I want to bring this up right now, Opinion Dynamics poll. The question is, do you think Congress cares what the American people want and tries to follow the will of the people, or do you think Congress does whatever it wants to? So here's the answer. This is what the pollsters said. Cares about what Americans want. Does Congress care? 17%. Does whatever it wants. 79%. So it kind of goes along with this. We've had Democrats on our...
So let me pretend I'm Rob Andrews for a second. I'm not Rob Andrews, but what Rob would say is we know better. We are smarter than the American people. We are so wise in the Democratic Party that we can foist upon the American people something that they clearly don't want. We abandon the principles of representative government in order to force something that clearly the American people are rejecting. I, as Bill Cassidy would say, no, wait a second. We are representatives. We are not dictators. We are people who are sent here to represent. So those whose districts are telling them to vote against should listen to their district. That's our job. That's what we're here to do.
You heard the president today say that he thinks that once this legislation is passed, despite what everybody's saying, it begins to take form, it starts to take shape, Americans start to see results. They're going to be okay with it. The Democrats will come out smelling like roses. And for the congressional elections, might not be such a bad thing for the Democrats. Your response?
You know, Juliet, my bio is that I'm a doctor who's worked in a public hospital, safety net hospital, for the last 20 years. I still practice. I still teach. Consistently, politicians overpromise and underfund. Consistently. And so now, this time, no, we're going to not overpromise and we're going to adequately fund. Now, that is so contrary to the experience that I've had working in a safety net hospital. I would just ask President Obama and the people voting for him, who've been here for 20 and 30 years, to come to the hospital where I will be in 2 weeks to see the difficulty that public policy has created for us. They don't know of which they speak.
Will this legislation pass, yes or no?
Oh, I don't know. I was speaking to one of the fellows who's been here 30 years. He said the reason we're voting on Sunday is that the Democratic leadership is afraid that if their members go home, they'll get such an earful from the people whom they supposedly represent that they will come back and vote no. So in a sense, we're being held hostage to their fear of public opinion. All
righty. Well, once again, we wish we had the congressman from New Jersey, but he wasn't able to make it today. We appreciate you joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet.
Kelly?
Well, as the House Rules Committee hashes out the procedures for tomorrow's vote on health care reform, what about the overall price tag of this proposed reform? The Congressional Budget Office said earlier this week that the current bill will cost about $940 billion and reduce future federal deficits